but I'm also pretty afraid of
Working now.
dying.
Got it.
Like, painfully. Oh.
You're talking over the intro. So am I. It's alright, whatever. I don't care at this point as long as it fucking works. Alright, this is episode 305. Welcome everybody to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Wednesday, June 14th, 2017. And oh my fucking god.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
Hi, Nathan. Nathan Wood, sir. How are you doing today?
I mean, today's all right. Kind of still not feeling very great, but I was a lot worse past couple days. So
You sound a lot better.
now it's mostly like nausea and stomach problems. But oh my god, yesterday.
So everyone, if you watch the show live, we go live Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. Alaska time, 7 p.m. if you're on the West Coast, 10 p.m. if you're on the East. It is 6:15, and the reason being is, oh my... So, here's what happened. Real quick rundown. Go, get home, start setting everything up, getting stuff ready. The stream's frozen, and I just... Get home, getting stuff ready, loading everything up. We use a program called XSplit to stream the show live to Facebook. And XSplit's like, yo, I need an update, and I need it now. And I'm like, oh, well, shit, fine, update. And it's like, I can't update because you have all these programs open. Well, that's stuff I needed. Okay, I guess you can close those. And it's like, wait, I can't update because this program's open, which was fucking Windows. And I was like, well,
about that.
Okay.
I kind of need that open.
You know Windows is what keeps you alive, right? Yeah, I need that to not be alive right now so that I can update myself. Oh, okay, click. And then Windows fucks the hell out because I told it to shut down one of the system files. And then XSplit's like, I'm done updating. And Windows like, ow, crash, blue screen because you turned off part of its brain. So then my computer spends 30 minutes turning back on. Not literally, but it does take my computer a long time to turn back on. What's sad is I have a solid state in there, but I don't have a way to put Windows on it. So it's literally just...
Why not?
Because the CD I have to reinstall Windows on my computer requires that Windows already be on it.
Oh, dude, speaking of, I need to find that CD key. I think it's somewhere downstairs because I have to still activate Windows.
So, with that then, finally got my computer to boot back up, and then XSplit loaded back up so that we could stream to Facebook, and then it's like, oh, I lost all of your stuff when I updated. All of your little overlays and all of your settings and stuff, I don't know where the fuck they are. Can you give them to me? And I'm like, maybe? So I had to go find that, get it all set back up, and then I was like, yeah, live on Facebook. It's like, oh, we don't have permission to go to your Facebook anymore. What? Yeah, you do. No, we don't. You're gonna have to reset that too. Okay. And then it was like, and then I tried reset that, reconnected it. It was like, oh, that connection doesn't exist.
The fuck it does.
Yeah. I'm fine. Oh, I need a new computer so damn bad, though. This computer, it has so many problems. Patreon.com/daily internet, everybody, if you'd like to help support the show financially. Right now, the Patreon just pays to keep the show running, because it's the monthly costs of the show are surprisingly high. Anyway, so that was the fun, joyous thing that happened before the show. Let's get into the fun, joyous news now, shall we? It's a total lie. Forgotify only plays Spotify songs that no one has ever played before.
Wait, so okay, so this was submitted by Orca to our music. Does that mean that after they play it, they no longer are on Forgotify anymore?
Yep, that's right.
So after they're played once, they'll never be played ever again.
You're not entirely wrong. There are an estimated 4 million songs on Spotify that have never been played, and Forgotify goes and finds them and plays them for you.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, why not? I mean, like, it's cool. They'll show us songs that no one else has heard, but then they'll show us songs that nobody else will ever hear.
And they'll show you songs that no one else should ever hear.
That's also true.
Because I imagine a lot of them are garbage.
I mean, I can only imagine. We should give it a go sometime. Sit down and go through Forgotify.
Sure, why not?
See how many actual gold things we find.
I mean, is it something that I can just pull? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the friggin' show, I can just hit this start listening button and see what happens.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Except, let me see if I can pull it up on the iPad so that you can actually listen to it as well. No.
Oh, I was just gonna bob my head and just like pretend anyways.
Guess what? The iPad wants an update. Fuck you. You don't get to identify shit. Not identify. Whatever. I'm so lost. Everything's ruined. Not ruined, but
It's ruined.
as a sad. All right. Anyway, continuing on with the show. Ireland formerly elects 38-year-old Leo Varadkar as new prime minister, the country's youngest.
Varadkar?
What'd I say?
Varadkar?
I tried, all right? The country's youngest and first gay leader.
This was submitted by Dexter to Our World News. This is really big for Ireland.
I mean, they've had the same prime minister for a long time, too.
Not only that, but weren't they primarily Catholic?
I could not tell you.
I want to say they were.
Maybe, I don't know.
Because I remember it's a big thing in Boston for like the Irish marches to not allow gay people in it.
Here's the interesting thing that I came across. So, I mean, there's nothing more to really say about, like, I mean, you know, it's a big deal because gay leaders mean that hopefully we can get over the whole gay stigma that a lot of the world still has. And, I mean, he's a young leader, which means that he probably has ideals that are more in line with our generation. But here's the interesting thing. He won by getting 57 out of 57 votes to 50 no votes. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But there were also 45 people who abstained from the vote.
Okay. So they're just...
So of their members of parliament, 57 said yes, 50 said no, and 45 went, eh.
I mean, I guess is like not the worst thing in the world.
I guess, but I mean, I don't know enough of how that works, but I feel like, don't you need a majority of some sort?
I mean, I guess that is kind of a majority, though, because you still have 57.
I guess you got the majority of the people that voted, and it works relatively the same way in America, but I don't think that works in terms of, like, trying to pass a bill, though.
I feel like it's really weird,
yeah.
but Ireland is not completely, but Ireland's pretty different than we are.
That's
at
true.
least when it comes to government. You have to remember that though they may seem first world and everything, just like us, their government's probably a lot different than ours.
It's true. It just still seemed a little bit odd. I'm going to tilt my camera down a little bit because I'm slouching because the chair was making my back sweat. That's right. That's stuff you guys didn't need to know. U.S. Marshals arrest 2 in Turkish embassy brawl.
This was submitted by Charging Bull to Our World News.
Yep, so 2 of the men that were involved with the brawl outside of the Turkish embassy, they have been arrested and charged with aggravated assault.
Oh, good.
Yep.
You've watched that video? Fuck those guys.
Yep. One was also is also facing charges of assault with significant bodily injury. There's not been anything said about the people who went back to Turkey or if there will be anything that is involved in terms of trying to deal with those as well.
Just, how can you be so dumb to go to another country and punch people? It's fucking Turkey.
Well, I mean, have you seen what they've been doing lately?
I mean, I guess they've been doing a lot of bad shit, but...
Especially their country in general. Like, I mean, Erdogan's been making some very bad decisions.
Yeah. I feel like most of that area over there in general is just a clusterfuck at this point.
Yeah.
Actually, I kind of feel that way about the entirety of the world.
Yeah.
Like Venezuela.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, the Vatican's doing okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Norway's doing all right.
Scandinavian countries are doing all right if you listen to mainstream media.
I haven't heard anything super shitty about Australia recently.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Everything's shitty about Australia.
Yeah, but that's just the status
That's not
quo.
true. Not everything's shitty about Australia. All of the wildlife that's out to kill you, which is like 90% of the wildlife in Australia, is
Like I
real
said
shitty.
though, that's just the status quo. Like past that, they're doing all right, right?
I think so.
I don't
Their
know.
tourism industry is booming. I mean, their coral reef is dead,
Yeah,
but
yeah, that's true. All right, well. Twin girls conjoined. Wait, yeah. Twin girls conjoined at the head, successfully separated by 30 strong surgical steam. Steam?
Steam.
Team. Surgical team.
This was submitted by Tragic Donut to our uplifting news.
Yep, these two girls were birthed by C-section. They were prematures and they were conjoined at the head, and some doctors went in and separated them. And they're currently in care right now, but they look to be making a full recovery.
Now, we're not talking about like cheek to cheek here, or like chin to chin, or back of the head to back of the head. We're talking about like right here, full on frontal cortex of one of them is on the top of the other. Like their brains are probably booping
Yeah,
because
I
you
mean,
know their baby skulls are not fully developed yet.
yeah, that's true, and it's quite possible. Both babies are healthy though, which is nice.
That's good.
But they were definitely conjoined.
You know who else is a C-section?
You?
Me
I was not.
and that guy in Macbeth.
Does that mean? Wait, who? What was it that people were arguing? Who was it that was arguing that like birth by C-section means you're not an actual person or something like that?
There's a no, there's a Shakespeare thing where it was about a man being born, but he ended up being a C-section. I think it was Macbeth.
I don't know. I don't know, but what I do know is that this filmmaker installed a video camera in his right eye socket. I'm just gonna cut it off there, actually.
This was submitted by Specs to Our Futurology, and I'm sorry, it's Macbeth, and it was Macduff that was born from a C-section.
There we go. I'm just gonna take out the rest of that. That was too much stuff. Wow, I didn't take out the right stuff. Well, at least not all of the right stuff. Anyway, I know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. Everything's broken. Anyway, so this gentleman, a gun accident. They don't say what happened in the article in terms of what the gun accident was, but it left him blind in his right eye. So he had the eye removed, and then he built a eye that has a camera that
Holy
looks
shit! This guy looks like fucking. Oh god,
Terminator.
he looks like that guy from Mortal Kombat. Oh,
Oh yeah.
Kano. Kano.
So he does. The other people like to compare him to Terminator.
Dude, no, this guy looks straight up like Kano.
But so he's a filmmaker and he developed his own little small camera that he can put into his eye. Now, some people are criticizing him about ethics and privacy and stuff like that, and he's like, that's not my problem. But and also the eye glows red when he is filming with it, and it only has a 30-minute battery.
Okay, then you gotta like what? Plug it in.
Well, yeah, and then it can't film anymore because the battery's dead.
Oh, this is actually kind of weird because he does kind of look like Kano a little bit. He
Yep,
looks like an average Kano, like an average guy Kano.
sure. And he's a big celebrity among the cyborg community, which I didn't know existed, but apparently
Yeah,
that's the thing.
dude. So like, if it ever becomes mainstream for people to do prosthetics, I'm totally cutting off limbs for robotic limbs.
You and Adam Weinberg both.
Dude, if I could get like an arm that's a prosthetic, like arm that works better than my arm, hell yeah, I'd fucking cut off my arm. You see me walking around with two of these fucking cameras. Oh shit, my eyes, died. I gotta plug them in. I fucking do it though.
Would you?
Hell yeah, I would. That thing's fucking sick. Look at him.
I guess I don't know. I like my
It makes
eyes.
it makes video it makes recording for things like Hardcore Henry like super easy.
Maybe. I don't think it's actually that easy because of the way that the visual has to be in terms of the arms and stuff.
I don't know. I think you could totally do it.
Yeah,
It would
maybe.
make it more authentic.
Senate overwhelmingly approves new package of sanctions to punish Russia for meddling in 2016 election.
This was submitted by Saucy Tryhard to Our Politics.
So they have come out, and now this isn't passed yet. It will have to go through the House, and then once it goes through the House, then Trump has to sign it and agree to it as well. But this new
You think
level,
that's gonna happen?
maybe, I don't know. I mean, it could.
I doubt it.
But the current measure calls for strengthening current sanctions and imposing new ones on a broad range of people. So it'll basically just the current sanctions we already have in terms of communications and trade and things like that. It's going to lock that down pretty hard as a form of punishment to them. The only thing here's the thing that bothers me about it. Right, I understand why, but at the same time, I'm like if you punish trade and to hit their economy, you are not punishing their government. You are punishing their people.
Yeah.
And the majority, there was maybe 10 people involved with meddling in the 2016 election. Okay, maybe 50, whatever. But you're going to punish millions of people because of the acts of those 50.
You got to set examples.
I guess, but it still feels wrong.
Every time you set an example, it feels wrong. But you know what? You got to set an example.
No. Sometimes it feels good.
Oh.
Sometimes it feels real good to use people as an example, mostly because I don't like those people. And it's not even that I'm a big fan of Russia as a country, but the people don't deserve to suffer and be forced into a bad economy purely because some hackers made a shit decision.
Well, they're not forced into a bad economy. They can try and make, changes and try and spike their economy back up.
I mean, we could say the same damn thing about Alaska, but it's not happening.
Well, no, that's because no one wants to fucking make changes.
Case in point.
Whatever.
Yeah, I know. It's all stupid.
Yeah.
Wrong button. New evidence that all stars are born in pairs.
This was submitted by Ent Dr. Hayes to Our Space.
There is a lot of science in this article, and I did not understand all of it, but I will do my best.
So what's our star?
Well, see, and that's the interesting part, is that this evidence they found is that, and it's not an identical twin, basically what it is that when the gas begins to collect, it initially collects as a form of egg shape, and then as it starts to spin itself into a star, part of that egg breaks off, and then forms a new star, and depending on the amount of gas that was there, it can form up to 3 stars, because some are in triplets. That said, the question then is, where is Sol's, twin? It's not an actual twin. And we don't know. And that's the problem. Is like when we look at every other system that we can see easily, we can see how they have neighboring stars that and the signatures that they give off in terms of radiation that will show that those are sister systems essentially. We can't find ours.
What if? Okay.
We're the center of the universe.
No. What if, right? Stay with me.
Okay.
Our sister planet had actually developed a bunch of super intelligent species on it.
And they
or not our sister planet, our sister solar system. They ended up fucking it all up. And then we got here because we're the descendants of them and they just dropped us on the planet.
Or how about we take a non-negative turn and that they got so advanced that they were able to move themselves and their star.
Why would they want to move their star?
Dude, we don't know what's out there. They might want to be closer to the, Galactic Federation or some shit.
I mean, I guess that's fair. I feel like we would have seen at least something.
Well, I mean, there was a little bit of more intrigue into that star that looks like something has been built over it.
That's fair.
And they recently saw whatever was over it moving.
Ooh.
Although it's so far away and the light is so old that it could mean nothing or could mean everything.
Could mean an entire civilization that's already been killed.
Oh, I'm sure multiple have, buddy. The light that we observe is millions of years old.
I like Kirsten. She said, "Hey, now you're an all-star." That's hilarious.
I like Andrew's comment in the chat room. Actually, they're right there, right now. They're just cloaked. We just can't see them.
I mean, would you want to be associated with us?
No.
Exactly.
Not yet, anyway.
Exactly.
5 officials will face manslaughter charges for Flint water crisis.
This was submitted by Mine Brian 01 to our news.
Time to start putting the hammer down. 5 people have been charged with involuntary manslaughter, which is a felony punishable by up to 15 years in prison and or a $7,500 fine. Those charges have been put in place. I have no reason to read the names of the people who have been charged because it's not important. I will just tell you that they are people that are either in charge in terms of a governmental level or in terms of a water security level, like emergency managers, stuff like that. Anyway, but they are being charged and they are set. The first thing, it was authorized by the Attorney General this morning, and we'll see what happens from there. But you can't bring dead people back.
No, you can't. It's I mean, it's really unfortunate that this has happened in general. Not that they're getting arrested, that people have died because of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm glad to see that we're getting at least some form of justice.
Well, and they also still don't have clean water, so.
No, they fixed that, didn't they?
I thought they'd only fixed part of it.
I'm not sure. All of the fucking information coming out of there is just scattered nowadays.
Yeah, but I mean, we do know that this is the case since the Attorney General came out at 11 o'clock this morning and gave the announcement about the charges being approved.
So that's good that, things are moving forward.
Yep, and in terms of not good things, huge inferno in Weston London Tower block.
Ooh. This was submitted by Official Sindri to Our World News.
And we'll get to the second half of this that's in there in just a moment. So in the Grenfell Tower, there was a fire that started on the fourth floor and made its way all the way up to the 21st floor. The entire building was engulfed in flames. There are currently 12 people confirmed dead. 74 people are in hospitals, 20 of which are in critical condition, and over 100 people are missing. Majority of which are believed to be dead inside the tower, but we cannot enter the tower because the entire thing is burned so much that it is not safe anymore.
It's incredibly unstable.
They believe that no one in the top 3 floors had any chance of survival, whereas in floors below that there is the potential that they could just be unconscious and dying essentially, but it is not safe for anyone to go in there because the entire building has turned into a burnt matchstick.
I was reading articles about this earlier. There was a lady who had dropped her kid out of the 10th story to save it. And this guy ran, jumped, grabbed the child as it was falling.
Yep, there's been a few reports of that, of people that have jumped out the building, people that may use sheets to try and build a rope ladder, people that use sheets to try and build a makeshift parachute. People that were hanging out of the building, and then there were several reports of parents who were dropping their children out of the building, hoping that someone would catch it. Because there was lots of people there. There's people watching it. They didn't have any. They're like the fire's in the house. There's no way to get out of the house. The only way to get out of the house is out the window, and we're on the 12th fucking floor. And
what happened to? Don't they have fire escapes?
No, the only physical stairwell was in the very center of the building, and half of it was blocked off.
I'm pretty sure this is why, like, almost every building in New York has fire escapes.
Probably something along those lines. So with that though, it's complete tragedy.
I'm with Andrew on this. It's amazing more people weren't killed considering the size of the thing.
Here's the thing: is that more people probably were killed. We just don't.
They just haven't
yet.
gotten to them yet.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Because the building was 21 stories tall. The fire started on the 4th floor, and each floor had at least 6 apartments in it. So I mean, what is that? 16 times 6? It's like 100 people minimum, of which only like 80 are accounted for. And that's assuming bare minimum, 1 person per apartment, and there was most likely more. I mean, normally.
I mean, you saw people throwing other people out of their windows. Of
Yeah.
course, there are more people.
And so right now, there's only like 120 people accounted for, and we knew that more than 300 lived in the building. So there
That's
probably is
insane.
a lot more that are dead. We just can't get to them.
Yeah,
So
that's absolutely insane.
now I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the second part of this. There is a report that there. People are reporting that there were reports about how high of a risk that this building was for being set on fire.
And this was submitted by Edu FK to Our World News.
There's a lot of things that people are pointing to as to the reason that this fire was so bad. The outside of the building last year was renovated in a special type of plastic cladding, kind of like siding essentially, that was meant to help prevent water from getting in, but apparently the material was very flammable, and I don't mean flammable like it goes up in flames, as more of along the lines of that it burns very well if it's exposed to an open flame, and that allowed the flame to just basically just steamroll its way across and up the entire building to the point that it actually looked like a burning match or a torch. There is also reports that the building did not, no, not reports that it might not have. It straight up did not have internal sprinkler system, so there was no water system inside to put out the fire. Most of the fire extinguishers have been seen that they have not been tested. You're supposed to test a fire extinguisher once a year, and none of them had been done so, including reports that some on the roof hadn't been tested since 2009 and had even been labeled as condemned. There was a report done 4 years ago that the building was at a high risk for fires, and it had been sent to the government, and the government had done nothing.
They just shirked it.
Yeah, the continuous answer was, "We're looking at it," is what they would say.
Bull fucking shit. Whatever.
And the people that conducted the report said it's unfortunate that no one's looking at this, and it will unfortunately take probably a very large catastrophe for anyone to bother with these things anymore. And so that's happened.
We had a rather large catastrophe.
Yep. And maybe people will start looking at, fire safety in their buildings now.
It's really unfortunate that people have to die for people to fucking do something about most things.
It happens all the time. Like, people are like, no, we don't need to worry about with that. We don't need to worry about that slur of death people. I guess we can worry about it now. Like, and that happens a lot, and it's really unfortunate.
It's fucking disgusting.
Speaking of unfortunate things, mass shooting in Virginia. Gunman open fired on members of Congress.
This was submitted by Carter, 1984, to Our News.
Yeah, so there was a charity baseball game that was going to be taking place in the near future, and the members of both the Democrats and the Republicans were out on respective fields practicing for the upcoming charity game. This happened in Alexandria, Virginia. It happened this morning. A gentleman was walking around and found someone and asked, hey, which is that the congressman over there playing? Yeah, okay, who's playing right over there? Is it Republicans or Democrats? And they were like, oh, it's Republicans. And he immediately walked over towards the field, walked into a dugout, walked up, and just started opening fire on everyone that was in the field. Now, unfortunately, there's not any. It was a caged field. There's not an easy way to just run off into the distance. So there was no way to get out. So they had to run and hide in the dugout. And the only reason that they didn't become literal fish in a barrel is because one senator had brought his private security people with him, and they were armed and were able to fight against the gunman, and did eventually drop him.
They shot him, and then he died due to complications in the emergency services.
Complications.
Right. There is a respectable Republican congressman that had gotten shot.
Yep, that would be Steve Scalise from Louisiana. He was shot in the hip and is currently in critical condition, and there is not a report on whether he will survive or not. One of the staff aides has also been hit. He is okay. And then two Capitol Police agents were both hit as well.
So this guy that I'm not going to mention his name. This guy who did the shooting, he volunteered on Senator Bernie Sanders' presidential campaign trail, as well as his Facebook is filled with anti-Trump like things, and it just goes to show you that there are just insane people on both sides.
Yeah,
like insanity knows no political party.
No, it doesn't, and it shouldn't. It also shouldn't be associated with a political party
Hmm.
because there are extremists and maniacs in every single walk of life. No matter where you look, I don't have the time or the resources, but you will find a crazed fanatic in that field. Whether it's in Bernie's bin or Hillary's or Trump's or over in the UK or in
Or
Russia,
Nancy
China,
Pelosi or
anywhere,
some random people.
anywhere you can find a crazy person. Doesn't matter how good the religion is, I'm sure there are crazy as shit motherfucking dudists that like just take it way too far and yeah.
And just do nothing but smoke weed and drink a lot of fucking White Russians every day. That actually sounds like the life.
In a bit of irony, in related to this story, a House hearing on gun legislation was canceled after this shooting.
Oh.
Yeah. You want to say who it was submitted by?
Yeah, sorry. This was submitted by 3D Stuff to R Not the Onion.
Yeah, so there was supposed to be a hearing today about gun legislation. The gun legislation would have made it easier to purchase silencers, transport guns across state lines, and it would have eased restrictions on armor-piercing bullets.
Why the fuck do we need silencers?
I don't fucking know, dude.
I don't see a point unless you're like hunting maybe, and even then, like I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe to better protect unprotected people's ears. I don't know.
How are you going to protect someone with a silencer?
Oh, it's so you can still use your gun without offending other people.
No, if you're using a gun, it should be loud enough to alert the people around you that there's a gun being used.
I don't know. I'm just trying to play the
Unless
argument.
you're, I guess, in a scenario where there's like a shitload of people trying to invade your house, and you have to sneak around your house shooting random people.
Silencers don't make guns that quiet anyway.
Yeah, no.
Like
It's not like it's not what you think. It's not the it doesn't actually make it silent. You still hear noise.
yeah, it's not like in the movies where it just makes a pew sound. Nope, nope. It's still quite loud. It's just quieter. It's not as damaging. Anyway, so yeah, that all that shit happened. So yeah, let's move on to something else. Low battery. Screw you and your low battery. Wrong one. Hey Nathan, what did you care about in the last 24 hours?
Okay, so there's two things. One, my roommate came home yesterday and immediately started discussing that his sister is moving out of the state, right?
Okay.
Well, she has two dogs. One that's literally allergic to life
Okay.
and cannot move with her. And the other is like about to die because he's amazingly old.
Okay.
She then goes and says, "Hey, you guys are going to keep these dogs. I will pay the $1,000 pet deposit for you guys."
Cool.
So we're getting two dogs.
Neat.
That's the only thing I've ever wanted since I was a kid was a dog.
Well, now you're gonna get two of them.
They're technically not mine,
Whatever.
but oh my god, I can't wait.
They're yours. She's
Um,
not coming back.
The other thing is that okay, I can't hype this enough. If anyone hasn't watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure besides Michael, because Michael doesn't watch anything that has fun involved, you need to sit down and watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Damn.
Because JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is probably one of the best goddamn things I've ever fucking watched.
All right.
In fact, Guile from Street Fighter is based off of a character from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I didn't
The
know.
best thing about JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a lot of the characters are named after bands. For instance, the main bad guy, his name's Dio, right?
I didn't know that JoJo's Bizarre Adventure was that old.
1989
Huh.
was when the third volume, or not volume, the third series, Stardust Crusaders, came out.
I'm surprised.
So, anyways, they named a lot of characters after just musical things. For instance, the main bad guy's name is Dio, after Rodney James Dio, right?
Sure.
You have Robert E.O. Speedwagon, or R.E.O. Speedwagon. You have Baron Zeppeli, which is based off of Led Zeppelin. You have the Three Pillar Men, Cars, Wamu, which is Wham, and SCDC. Polnareff is named after Jean-Pierre Polnareff is named after Michael Polnareff. Oh, it's just great. It's great. So, anyways, I'm sitting there playing the game yesterday. They have a fighting game for it, and I'm sitting there playing, and I'm playing through the storyline to unlock characters. But the one that I'm playing happens to be in Japanese, so I don't understand literally anything that's going on, and I couldn't love it more.
Good. Enjoy it, sir.
It's immense. It's immensely amazing.
I
Like,
started back into The Witcher 3 yesterday, so.
oh, nice. That's. Oh, I also started. I restarted The Legend of Dragoon because someone brought over a physical copy, and I didn't have a save on my computer after my computer got wiped.
Sure.
And I didn't have one on the PlayStation 3 that's downstairs because the PlayStation 3 that I was playing Legend of Dragoon on, my ex-girlfriend now has.
Oh, very well then.
So I had to restart, and I love Legend of Dragoon. It's good. It's a great game.
Yep, I have a save on my PSP that I still have never actually beaten the game.
That's really sad. I've beaten it twice.
I need to beat it at some point in time, but I always get like halfway through it and then find something else to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I had something, but I don't remember what it is because I got so damn frustrated earlier with the stupid computer stuff. So yeah, I got nothing.
God, oh man, I fucking love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I'm glad, but
Their intros, all of their intros are pure gold.
we are going to get out of here now because god damn it. So with that, everybody, if you'd like to help support the show, please share us on some form of social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, wherever you can.
I saw my sister shared us with her friends and everything.
Sick.
Which I don't know if it'll help us much because they're very, 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 like super Christian.
Well, we'll take what we can get.
Right.
Otherwise, you can follow us on social media. All of those are at iReaditCast. Call and leave us a voicemail, 508-738-2278, or you can send us an email, feedback.ireadit@gmail.com. You can also listen to the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play. You can throw money at us and make us really happy, patreon.com/dailyinternet. I'm real done. All right, everybody, that is it. That is your 305th dose of the internet. I am Michael Schwan.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
And please remember, everybody,
don't get eliminated.
have a good day, everyone.
Goodbye.